Hey guys, welcome to our Morningstar live stream. I'm here with Liz, Becca, and Mike once more for your Red Rising saga. Goodness, go ahead and say hi, friends. Say hi.
Hello.
Hi.
It's just the wine, just straight up. You're gonna need it. You're gonna need it for this.
Priorities.
We needed it for last book, realistically.
Yeah. We have alcohol in every one of our videos, so
amazing. Alrighty, so I guess we will start with the usual. There will be a non-spoilery section and then a mostly spoilery section. The non-spoiler section.
At this point,
yeah.
I don't know what you're doing here if you haven't read the book series.
Yeah, you're like 3 books in. Like, you don't know what's going on. Like, why? What else? Yeah, we obviously had to push this one forward because the Golden Sun one was pushed back, which is why this one is like the next week. And I think there's another 2-week gap between Iron Gold. I'm not sure yet. I'll figure that one out. But yeah, so we're talking about Morningstar, which is obviously the third and final book in the original Red Rising trilogy, but not the final book in the series. So if you guys want to kick it off with your experiences reading Morningstar, all of that sort of stuff, go ahead.
Well,
you guys first.
little bit of this, a lot of this, and a little bit of that. Emotional roller coaster.
I think it starts off super down. The way Golden, I was super excited to get to this because of the way Golden Sun ended.
Yeah.
And this was the book I think I cried the most in the middle, and then I actually cried at the very end, like with that whole reveal.
Well,
but I don't know. I really enjoyed this one.
Yeah.
While Golden Sun's my favorite out of the series, this one is the most enjoyable. Like for the most part. Yeah.
This one I felt a little bit of all emotions from complete terror at the very beginning to sadness in the middle, chapter 30. And then to like a very happy tear, like it broke my heart, but I'm so happy it ended the way it did.
Yeah. So excited to talk about it today.
Very excited. Liz, what about you?
It definitely was like a complete like 180 to what the ending of, like emotionally what the ending of like Golden Sun was. Like at the end of Golden Sun, you're pissed. You're like
fired up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you like needed this book.
You're just like, oh. And then at the beginning of Morningstar, it's like you get doused in cold water and Pierce just kind of like slaps you in the face.
It's like
really, really quickly. Yeah, like, and then just makes you feel so much. Like I think, because I don't know if you guys remember, he gave us a teaser for this. So we got like the one chapter or like a few chapters, and so like we got to wallow in this misery with Darrow for months. And so the entire book was really emotional. Like it was, for most of us, we thought it was going to be the end of the series. So there was just a lot that like we were expecting, and I think it delivered in almost all of the aspects. It's obviously at the end, like he left it open, so we were like, like it was not completely closed. It was a little bit of an open ending, and obviously then we got the announcement for the second trilogy, but it was just kind of like one of those very satisfying overall like endings to a series, I think, to a trilogy.
Yeah, I'm much the same. Like when at the end of Morningstar, I was like, okay, great, like it's ended. I know how all my characters' stories have ended, and I'm pretty happy with it. Like they're all safe. When Pierce was like Iron Gold, I was like, don't touch them, please, just let them live in peace. That didn't happen, but that's the next live stream. We'll talk about Iron Gold next time. Yeah, well, I was just telling the guys before we started, I've got about I want to say like 100 pages left of my like 7th reread or something, so I know what I'm talking about, but just going back and suggesting. And
this is actually the one I've reread the least.
Me too. Yeah, me too. And yeah, you guys noticed my beanie. I found my Break the Chains beanie. Yeah. I've been looking for it through live streams, and I finally found it.
You cried today and everything. It's a good beanie.
Cried and everything. Yeah. Because I was listening to this reread. I was doing mostly on audiobook, just because I love the audiobooks probably more than I love the actual books.
No, they're so good. They're
amazing.
Recommend.
And I hate audiobooks, and I really love them. But yeah, just reading it, and so listening to someone tell you about all those parts that really fuck you up. Like I was just showing the guys when you get to chapter 30, I was driving yesterday on my way to set, and I was just sobbing. Driving. People were like, I called Jacob, and I was like, it happened. And he's like, what? Are you okay? Sorry, the birds. Yeah. He's like, are you okay? I'm like, I'm fine, but spoiler. And he's like, Piera, I swear to God, you do this every year when you reread it. I was like, I know, but it hurts still. All right, I'll stop crying. I'm sorry.
See, your birds know when you're upset. That's really touching.
Exactly. Yeah. As soon as I start, they're like, Mom, what's wrong? Can we come hang out? No. When I finish my tea, maybe.
I remember reading that scene the first time. It was like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
I was sitting on my bed and I was sobbing, and my brother walks in and he's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And I was just like, it's because this character died. And he looked at me and I just saw the disappointment on his face. He was like,
Oh yeah.
and he just closed the door slowly.
That was me walking through set yesterday. I walked in, I'm obviously like puffy, red-eyed, tears. He's like, yeah, what's wrong? And my best friend walks past and he goes, did you get up to that chapter? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, for fuck's sake. All right, get upstairs. Take a minute. We'll on set soon. And I was like, ah. So
I might just close the book and like looked at me like he blamed me for this.
100%.
I just got up and walked away. It was the same feeling I had when Robert Stark died in Game of Thrones. I literally just was like, nope. Just get up and walk away.
Really
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to ever repeat it. We're done.
We're gonna pretend that didn't happen. That was me with any of the dire wolves.
Oh yeah.
Same.
People I can deal with. Any of the dire wolves, I was like, I'm done. Sorry.
Oh, I gave like a million theories about how dire wolves were still alive. But anyway, I digress.
I was expecting some big comeback of the dire wolves, and CGI budget, mate. But we will do a complete scene by scene recreation of How to Train Your Dragon in those last episodes, though. All right, well, let's have non-spoiler section. If you have not read Morning Star and do not wish to be spoiled, see ya. We're going to talk about, we're going to start with them first chapters, which was probably the most depressing thing I've ever read.
Let me refill.
Yeah, ever read. Here you go.
Hey.
It was good. And I didn't realize how long it went for until I was listening to the audiobook this time. Like, it was like a long...
Yeah.
It's like it was a couple chapters. For some reason, I thought it was just.
It was like
4.
4 chapters.
I actually really appreciated that because, like, you know, he got stuck in a box and his muscles deteriorated, and they like spent the time to build him back up. But even like that time he spent in the box, like if you were in a box, that would be forever. So I really appreciated that in the book. I was like, this is what it's like.
And it wasn't just the box, too. It was being tortured for like 4 to 5 months before that. And then for 9 months being put in a box. Like, fuck that.
3 months of torture, 9 months in the box. I'm just going to shut these guys up. I forgot that they tortured him for that long. And then
put him in a box.
I didn't think the box was that long for some reason. But then when we hear about other events, I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Is that a bird box?
Because I think one of the big fears
took me a second.
One of the biggest fears I think everybody has is being stuck in complete darkness with nothing to do and nowhere to go. And I think everybody can relate to that. So like my level of stress and panic, I was like, nope, I'm good. I'm freaked out right now. I'm done.
Well, I find it really interesting that the ways they tortured Darrow and Victra were very opposite to what they know. Like Darrow being a helldiver would be used to noise, constant stimulation. Although at some point I think Darrow said I was used to being in the dark in the mines. Like that's fine. Yeah. And different for Victra, who's probably not used to that sort of like overstimulation of senses.
Yeah.
And it was kind of interesting that was the way that they chose to torture.
The Jackal was a genius.
Jackal's a great antagonist, great villain, one of the best villains I've ever.
I was going to say, he's probably one of the best villains I've ever come across.
Yeah.
By far.
And I feel like this really, like, you know, set it in stone, that whole beginning. But the beginning, I just felt was so real. Like, it's hard to put somebody in a box for 9 months and you to actually, like, feel for that character and really,
but the thing was, it's not only just a box. It was the table.
Table.
Like, that,
like, him coming out and being like, are you fucking kidding me? I thought I was in the depths of hell and I'm in your goddamn table? Like, that's like, I find that really, like, degrading. He's this big, like, you know, hero and whatever, and they're like, oh, we'll just fucking put him in the table. We'll eat dinner over him every night.
Well, that's the thing. It was kind of like, I mean, it was one thing Karnas pissing on him back when after in Golden Sun, but it's a whole different ball game. I mean, it stepped up 100 levels when he put him in a fucking dining room table. And
why do your birds sound like little velociraptors, bro?
Because they fucking are, okay? I love them so much. It's a really great idea to get birds. Don't ever get fucking birds.
All I hear is little velociraptors. Like, I feel like you're in
and now they're
Park.
quiet.
It's mostly Cactus too, which I just attribute to my shitty choice in naming. Because like, of course you are.
Oh, the functioning sociopath?
He's 100% that. 100%. I'm just gonna get that out. Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna bring him to
The shrieking is so loud. It's so funny.
I'll tell a story of mine. I got a bird for my birthday one time, and so sad. I didn't know what to do with it. It kept flying away, and so I held it so tight that I accidentally killed it.
Hey, is that chilling on your head right now?
Yeah, you fucking monster. What's wrong with you? Yeah,
I was like 4 years old, you guys. I didn't know I wanted to hold it, and it was like flying, so I squeezed too tight. I didn't know.
Yeah, that's fair. I would rather bigger birds than smaller birds. Like I would rather be bitten by a macaw than this motherfucker. Are you excited to see everyone? Let me say hi, boys. All right. Yeah. So then, what was it?
All right. So then they get rescued, right? They find out.
Well, they were remember they were transferring.
They're transferring him.
Arrow back to the Sovereign, and that's when several and the Howlers came and rescued them.
Yeah.
Bro, Trig. R.I.P.
I liked Trig, but I wasn't super attached. Like he was cool, but I was like, cool.
I was okay with his death.
I got attached, but like it was to me, he was written in a way where I knew something was gonna happen. I was like, oh, you want me to be attached? That's what
I got so attached because he was like in those like the first chapters, right? So I would reread them always, and he was just so snarky, and like his older sister, and then Pierce was like, fuck you.
I feel like Trig was always that guy in a horror movie that's going to do something stupid at the beginning and be the first one to die.
Yeah.
Now that I've read
it in that way, that that something's gonna happen.
But yeah, so they get rescued and the description though of several finding Darrow. Oh, how just emaciated.
He like didn't give up. He knew he was alive.
Like, ruined.
Talk about ride or die.
You expect that from Severo though.
Yeah.
Like his family's like regret once they were like we stopped searching for you when they killed you on screen.
I know that plot
twist. Good for Victra for later getting with them. Like if she went all that length to like get him and Darrow and Victra, you better screw that shit. Like anyway.
When we learned that like Victra was still like Victra again, favorite character of the whole series. When he's like, I'm not leaving without her, I was like, good. Because if I swear to God, if we get there and my girl is broken, I think for some reason I didn't mind it until I kind of read it the few times when they kind of got them back and were fixing them up. How like easily it was to fix them. Like I kind of didn't hate that they would have had I would have liked to see more of their like rebuilding struggle, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I know they've got all this tech and stuff to, they carved Darrow for fuck's sake, so giving Victra back her legs was going to be easy as shit. Yeah. But I would have still liked to see Victra, especially Victra, who's, mostly this big, powerful woman, like physically a powerful woman, to be without that and kind of what she has left to rely on.
Yeah.
But yeah, didn't get that, which was fine.
I think he definitely made up for it in like the mental struggle because Darrow is like a completely different person in Morningstar compared to like who we meet at the beginning of the story. So his change was like pretty. He's still emotional.
Like I would have expected. I this time reading it, I kind of wanted more trauma, which sounds really bad. But like, because Darrow's always like a steadfast, confident, I know what I'm doing character, except for like maybe like 3 or 4 times. Or it happens and it just comes back. I would have liked to see more of that. Like you see like in the Hunger Games with like Katniss and stuff. Like she has mad PTSD and stuff, and she's still very much affected by it.
Yeah, but I think the key though to this rebuilding of Darrow though was more than the first time when he got beat up this was 100% psychological. Going through physical rehabilitation, I think, was nothing for him. But I think mentally, he suffered so hard from that PTSD of being stuck in that box and being tortured that's what kind of really challenged him in this book.
And it's funny you bring up Hunger Games because I totally related him and Victra rebuilding themselves just like Kat and Kat and the girl. The girl.
Oh, the girl with the axe.
Oh, yeah.
Joanna, how they rebuilt kind of a little together to try to get on that team, and they went through all those trials and tribulations to train. I totally related that, and I know no one likes the Hunger Games like correlation, but
I like it.
That's why I read the damn book.
Same.
Stop eating my hair. Yeah.
That was I think it was a hard to read but much necessary first quarter of the book was the torture to the rebuilding phase, and then obviously they throw us right back into the action.
It was really well written. Yeah. And then they head to a moon, right, to see Quicksilver.
Yeah, I love
and then
that was great.
That scene was intense.
But remember, at this point too, Severo is still kind of in charge of the sons, Darrow. So they're still
aren't they like at odds?
The tension and everything, and we still don't have Mustang back yet.
Don't they take? Oh no, that's later.
So yeah, I like Quicksilver and Ragnar's relationship with like Darrow's family and how the
so cute.
Like, bows in his hair and love him.
We'll talk about Ragnar yet.
We'll get to. I know I'm not ready to talk about it, but I'm just like reminiscing on the good times.
He became like such a real person. This book, like they really. He became a leader. He stepped up. He finally was able to like come out of that trapped shell that he had in his life. Yeah, and it was so amazing to see. And Darrow allowed him to do that, so that's why he opened up so much to Darrow.
His sense of humor was so like you wouldn't expect like him to have the sense of humor that he did, like especially like with children and stuff like that. Because like,
but when they were pushing Darrow for the first time and like Ragnar throws Severo and Severo's like, "I'm a warlord, stop throwing me." It's one of my favorite parts.
Yeah, so it's like, it was nice to see. Yeah.
So they get to kick Quicksilver, find out he's there with Cassius and Mustang.
We find Mateo again.
And we see Mateo again, I know.
That was nice.
The shit kicked out of him.
He needed
I forgot how brutally they bashed him. Like Darrow thought he was gonna die for that second there, where he's like, I can't tell if his spine is shattered or his like skull is cracked or something.
Didn't he break his leg?
I felt like it was redemption. Yeah, I felt like it was a little redemption. Like we kind of figured out how much of a shitty person he was. So now he got his ass kicked. Now he can be someone that we like.
Mateo. Did you guys not like Mateo in book one?
I did.
He wasn't my favorite, but I mean,
he's one of those like teachers who's like high and mighty, but then still has like a soft spot.
Yeah, I mean, we liked him, but he did shitty things.
I still think he deserved an ass beating.
Yeah, we liked him, but he did shitty things. So
I finally got the ass beating.
Yeah, I feel like it was justified now.
Alright, I'll allow it.
I was pretty indifferent, I think. Because like we just didn't see enough of him. I think we just saw like he was one of those people like Mickey who was a product of their society.
Yeah.
And like knowing that like it made sense for some of his stuff, but like also too like he really did go, especially in book one, like based on faith that like Darrow was who he was. And so like for me he was like a decent enough person, like, you know, he was willing to do this favor, which we now know is because of, you know, Quicksilver. So kind of situation.
I mean, that whole thing and interaction with Quicksilver was really interesting though, and then come to find out where Quicksilver kind of lies after the whole battle and everything.
It surprised me that he was a son.
I was so shocked.
But he was I kind of related Quicksilver to what's the guy's name that helped Daenerys in the beginning of Game of Thrones?
Varys?
No, the guy that housed her.
Yeah,
that guy. I don't know.
So that's how I kind of related Quicksilver, that he's really behind the scenes, but he's supporting.
Right, I mean, by then he was so deep in, I mean, as you get from the Sons of Ares comics, like he was so deep in it by that point. Can you stop eating things?
When they were like there and they were trying to kidnap him, all I could think about was like the Collector and the Guardians, like all of the cool shit everywhere. I know it doesn't actually describe that in the book, but that's like literally all I picture.
Yeah, I think that's what I picture. Can we talk about him having like an aquarium or some shit?
Yeah. You're like, oh, yep.
All I'm going to see is Benicio del Toro in his getup, and that's going to be
100%.
He would be a wonderful Quicksilver. Great. Marvel, get on it. Let's go.
Yeah, handle business.
Right.
And then what? So then we get back, and
then we have Mustang and Severo like locking eyes and realizing who the other person was alive. Yeah, baby, right there. Sorry, I'm like looking.
I'm like, I don't remember that part.
Sorry. Darrow and Mustang, and we realizing like Mustang realizing that he's alive.
Yeah.
Like I wish I would see that person. Like I would love to see her POV in that particular scene. Like what went through her mind, because she saw him die basically.
And by that point she had also given
birth to
dun dun,
the fruit of his loins.
Exactly.
Yeah, and was Cassius with her? It was Cassius and one
yes,
of Moira.
He was.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So that was like a whole.
But remember, that's.
I just felt this three-way drama everywhere.
But then,
at that point, Moira was like a husk. But Moira wasn't really there. She was dead.
Yeah.
And I do feel like when Cassius saw Darrow too, that was his. Oh shit! That's the guy that kicked my ass last time I saw him.
Exactly.
Or it's the guy that I saw in a fucking table.
Yeah. He ran straight away. Did you notice?
Yeah, he was like
tried to cut and run. Like
I'm out.
He's like, gotta go.
Yeah. Like, I'm gonna fucking get you. Yeah.
To be fair, I would straight up do that too. I'd be like, pick my battle. Like
the guy who pirouetted, took your arm, you thought was dead, and then comes back. Yeah, I'm good.
No, he's mad.
Oh fuck.
But yeah, and then we get obviously the fight between Darrow and Severo, which broke my heart, but I'm so glad it happened.
Yeah,
it was two bros literally beating the
throwing it out.
That just, you know what? Let's do it.
I feel like all bros have this point. Maybe not like that extent, right? But like
to the point of almost death, but we're good.
Yeah,
I mean, if we could handle almost death, then yeah, probably. But
but I think every set of siblings or best friends has some type of argument or physical altercation that's like, hey, let's just get it done, get it over with, and we'll move on.
And Severo was like a ride or die, like ridiculous ride or die. Like he was there, like stuck to Darrow.
He was a ride, whether you die.
Yeah, like since book one, and so I think it was good to like finally see Severo kind of like think for himself and kind of get a little jealous of Darrow and then hash it out. I think it was.
I mean, he was so angry at this whole book at the beginning. You see, like Fitchner and Darrow being gone and all the pressure and everything. Like he was just like winding and winding and winding until like it would destroy the.
Because it was like the most unexpected thing for him. Like he had been at the bottom of the barrel, and then to all of a sudden be in charge of like this fucking like rebellion. Yeah, like
losing like the two people who mean the most to him, sort of thing as well.
And weirdly enough for me, after the whole fight and then they kind of made up at the end, all I saw was the scene of Will Smith in Bad Boys 2 where he looks down at the yearbooks and says, ride or die, Bad Boys for life. That's all I saw.
Yeah, that's too much like too detailed of a reference.
I haven't seen it, but I understand. I get it.
Come on, Piera.
I'm sorry, I suck.
If I'm reading the book, you got to watch the movie.
Really? That's what you want? That's the one you want? Out of anything you could share, my snatch.
No, that's not
it's
it.
It's an important part of American culture.
Ah, but you forget, my friend. I am ye Southern Hemisphere. All right, what else? So then Severo's like, hey, by the way, I got your eyeballs. And we're like, cool, gross, but kind of.
I just love how nonchalant like everybody else was about it.
It's like, do you want him back? He's like, if you want him back, I can give him to her. I was like, nah, bro, you can have him.
I know. I love that it's so like, yeah, cool. You took his eyeball. All right.
Yeah.
And Ragnar's like, I told him that was weird.
Yeah, that scene was weird. It was.
I really want to know what like
it was weird.
Ragnar was thinking. Like Ragnar was just like, what is wrong with these like skinny small people?
Yeah.
What the hell just flew across the screen?
Sorry, yeah. They like to fly and terrorize people.
What's going on in Australia? Are you being attacked?
No, like I think something just flew past the window, and they were like, freak out.
Better than an earthquake.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't try to get guys.
Exciting, guys.
You might still get one.
I don't know. Let's hope not.
So what's after that? And then obviously we find out.
That's when they figured out that Mustang was like on their side pretty much. And then we figured out that they had Kavix that Ragnar
Orion.
That Orion was piloting Pax.
Yeah.
But that was the whole thing too. We missed too is that's where they captured Cassius. Also, remember that's where they captured him and held him as a prisoner.
That's true.
Yeah.
No,
it was after that battle.
Did that?
Yeah, because when they escaped with Quicksilver, that's when they figured out he was working for Sons, and also that they'd gotten Cassius. Ragnar had taken Kavix. And Mustang and Darrow had a heart-to-heart after the...
Yeah, right.
Oh, the breakfast scene, right?
I don't remember Cassius being...
Yeah,
imagine I just open my book and that's the fucking sentence that comes up. Why is this my life? I hate this book.
Yeah, and then Darrow starts rallying all the low colors, right?
Yeah.
And then they broadcast to the society that Darrow's alive. And then they start to do like the whole break the chains kind of mantra. You know, it's like that's like where the uprising really gets a heartbeat. It was a really cool moment.
Yeah.
Cool. What else?
Are we not going to talk about?
Oh, go ahead.
I don't know what I was going to say.
Oh. Then this is where like Darrow and Ragnar leave and like pretend to be like fleeing Golds, right?
Yeah.
And then
that's right. When they start, they like hook up Phobos.
Yeah.
And then Mustang's like, surprise, I'm coming with you. And we're like, oh, my heart. Where am I?
I feel like I always forget that shit because I'm always just like thinking of the really big things.
Yeah, me too. I forget all the little things.
I'm like,
then they get to the ice. Well, they get attacked and they don't quite get, they get to the ice, but they just
Darrow almost dies again.
They crash on the shore, and then they go to see the other like ships that are crashed.
Well, they were attacked
and that's
by the
when
Obsidians.
that's when they get attacked by the cannibalistic Obsidians, which I thought was like insane. I was like, they're cannibals.
They're eating them.
What is this?
Yeah.
Have it, Piers.
You crack Tactus up. He's having a laugh. Are you having a laugh? Is that funny?
But that's also and so
Cannibalism. That's funny.
That's where
He
my
fucking
timeline
does. Look, these scars are from him. Literally, I watched him sit there and pick my skin off and eat it.
No wonder.
Why are you biting me? Like I'm not doing anything. And then I just watched him enjoy the taste of my flesh, and I was like,
I don't know. That sounds like the beginning of a horror movie.
I was like, we're gonna have to talk. It's a new The Birds. Yeah, and then we get to chapter 30.
Yeah.
What? No. There's a little.
No, there's a little bit before that. We're not there yet.
we meet Seppi.
Chapter 30 altogether.
Yeah, this is where they have to get captured and stuff first. Hold your horses. No. This is where they like they find the crash ship. They realize Cassius and Asia aren't in it. Aja, sorry. And then they start to track them, right? And then that's when they like battle with Cassius. Cassius gets like an arrow in his neck.
What I want.
That was wonderful.
Aja falls off a cliff, and then like we don't see her after that. And then we get to this is chapter 30. I'm just
so we're just keep talking about chapter 30, and then Sephi arrives.
Yeah.
And Sephi's there. And then Ragnar says the thing that ruins all of our lives.
Everything.
Dude, that his last words literally felt like a punch to my gut.
I want that on my grave. When
Can we take a moment of silence for Ragnar? Pour one out for Ragnar.
Fucking rip rags. Rip rags.
I actually spilled my wine everywhere.
I think it was the most beautiful / most painful death scene I've ever.
Have you listened to it on the audiobook?
Yes, and I was
audiobook was so rough.
That's what I'll show everyone here. So I was driving to set yesterday listening to Ragnar's death, and I was trying to record like my reaction to it because I haven't listened to it in ages. And I thought I could record whilst playing my audiobook on my phone, and it would still have it doesn't. So here is a clip of me just sobbing.
I'm sorry, but
the ultimate white girl filming herself crying
in the car.
Driving at like 100 k's an hour, just fucking sobbing. And then
you can see your tears like falling off your chin.
Yeah. I know her nostrils
going. Look at it. I'm
gonna find the video of me so we can have both of them side by side so we can.
P.S. What's 100K? That seems like a lot.
Well, I don't know. I don't know,
80,
America.
No, it's like 75 miles or something like that. It's like speed limit. She's fine.
It's fine. It's like on a highway.
Yeah. She's fine.
Okay.
She's not driving.
Come on, Piera, do your conversions before you get on the live chat.
No, you're on my time, friends. That's why I think it's like on my phone. I've got like London and New York time, so I can be like, oh yeah, people are awake now. I could probably send a message.
I just assume you're online, or like I hope for the best.
Yeah. I mean, really,
I'm gonna wake
me up. So. Yeah, you message me at any time I wake up, and I'm like,
I only know like Europe. So we have at work we have Europe schedule, which means we schedule our meetings in the morning, or Asia schedule, which means we schedule our meetings at night. So that's like all I know.
Right.
I'm terrible. Sorry.
Like
no one cares about Australia.
Back to the biggest problem in chapter 30. I don't know if you guys felt like this, but
all of it.
I felt like the whole scene of him battling Aja and him ultimately leading to his death. It was like the longest scene ever. Like every single action was so like just slow motion for me, and I was just like in disbelief.
And Darrow's seeing it before it happens, where he's like, "Shoot her," and Mustang's like, "They're too close," and he's like, "Because she doesn't see the trap that Aja has laid, but I know." And I was like, "No."
I didn't mind it because I think that it definitely gave me more time to like.
I was like, if I
process what was happening
slowly, he's still alive.
Yeah,
I still processed his death.
Oh, I was sobbing. Like I reread part of it, and I was just like, Pierce, you had one job, and that was to not hurt me. And you, actually, no, that's his one job. Actually,
yeah, I remember driving and being like, "Fuck you, Pierce Brown!" Like actually, genuinely out to the world, I was like, "Fuck you, Pierce Brown."
I cannot forgive him for that particular death. Like I can't
was
do it.
George R.R. Martin moment of his career was killing off Ragnar. I was reading the book and I just closed it nice and slow. I looked at Becca like I hated you for introducing me to this.
Yeah.
And I just got up and walked away.
And he's not like that. He's like a very like vocal and violent kind.
I would get very angry and just throw the book and I didn't
know a hell of a level. Yeah.
I was just like
I was like Tactic's death I was angry about. This one I was just like
for Tactics I was just like because I think I read it too fast and I didn't realize what had happened until like you're like, oh, he's bleeding to death. And I was like, wait. And so I had to go back and read the fact that like Lauren like stabbed him. But it for Ragnar it was long and he got, you know, a moment. He got his little like it was just like very cinematic and very.
And he was dying for a long time. Like
he was dying forever.
He didn't even come down. He had time to deliver a monologue, which I'm glad he did. I'm glad
about it.
But I will.
I would have like die quicker, like hurry up, go. But Ragnar, I was like, just keep speaking. Tell me about this house in the Vale. Does it have windows? Tell me about the curtains.
Is it 2 stories or one?
Is there a red door?
Anything. I'm gonna say I'm putting the birds away. Keep talking.
Okay.
But I will say though, I think for Darrow's character, as much as I hate to say it, I think Ragnar dying at this moment was very pivotal in that the fact that he needed that extra push to go the length that he needed to go to win.
Oh, 100%.
I don't think so.
I hate that I have to say that, but I do think that it was very monumental in Darrow's character saying that like this guy, there's only 2 guys in his life that were ride or die, and that was Severo and Ragnar was taken from him.
What did you just speak into existence?
Yeah, can you just fucking not say those words in a sentence?
I feel like you just spoke some very.
Well, wait. Realistically, with Dark Age coming out, I'm not even gonna try. I'm like, as long as Victor lives, maybe I can probably get through it all. But knowing my luck, I've just gone faster too.
Yes, Mike is going to be dressed as Ragnar at the LA book signing.
Have you guys bought your tickets? I know this is so random and off the chart, but I can't seem to know where to buy the tickets.
I'll send you the link. We did buy the ticket. Mike is 6'7" and he has boots that are like 7 inches, so he's going to be like.
Are you going the Comic-Con as well?
Oh, did you see my tweet?
No.
You liked my tweet.
I like things and I don't actually look at them.
Oh, that hurts my feelings, but okay.
Sorry.
It's fine.
Okay. I like you.
I think I tweeted it. Go. Sorry. I was going
to say if you're in California, we're doing both the LA and the San Diego signing, and we'll be around for Comic-Con. So
you won't be able to miss me. I'm going to be solid 7 feet tall. So
he'll be over 7 foot tall. It'll be awesome.
What are you going as, Becca? Are you dressing up?
Steffi. I always dress as Steffi. She's my favorite.
Fucking
We're not there yet.
I just got there in the book. Okay, I'm there yet.
I love her.
So we then go to meet Ragnar's mum, who is a right bitch.
But we do meet Sephi right after he dies.
Yeah, I just we meet Sephi, and she's all like dramatic and like kind of quiet. Cool, like, oh, quiet, nice, yeah, good
for now.
Good. Alia, and she's like, yo, don't believe you, die in a hole off to Asgard, which is kind of like exactly what they needed, because like I'm like, they could just kill the golds, like that's what they're gonna do. So they do. They just go in straight up, yeet the golds out, take all their shit.
Let me tell you though, I loved seeing the obsidians culture. in their culture, the way they were raised. Like that was probably one of my favorite moments in the series. It was something that I didn't know I needed to see, and I fucking loved it. Now I want to see like all the colors and their natural habitat.
Rooted in like Norse mythology that I'm like, I understand that.
Totally. I love that. It was like that whole relation. Like he kind of brought the Romans into Red Rising, and that's actually why I really liked Red Rising. So bringing the Norse mythology into Morningstar was just like so brilliant.
Well, you hear so many things throughout the books about these obsidians and how great of warriors and they are, and then you finally get to glimpse, and then you're like, oh, it's as great as I thought it was.
And they correlated it so well. Like everything just worked. It just
even
worked.
the story about Ragnar as a boy when he's like, I tied my wrists to my mother, and then he's like, Ragnar and his mother remember that story very differently. I was like, I can imagine Ragnar as a boy. And then like him, like as he was dying, talking to Sephi, he's like, I taught you the names of the wind and all of that sort of thing. And all of that sort of stuff.
You're gonna make me walk away. You're gonna make me walk away again.
Oh, I'm sweating. How he wanted to go to Venus. Oh god.
I'm so glad I have wine. This is why we had it.
Anyways, we found out that you know, his mom is she knows that.
Well, that's the other thing too. She knows everything.
Yeah, she knows it. Yeah.
She knows what her son was up. Like she knew what she sold her son to. Like that shit blows my mind. Like that's similar to like I guess Gamma, right? Like Gamma kind of knew what was going on. Like
I think Darren makes that. Yeah.
Yeah. Like
he's like the Gamma version of the Obsidians.
Yeah, they knew.
And then Sephi just straight up fucking kills it. So good. Thanks, Sephi.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. I'm not gonna lie. I did not expect that at all.
This is why I love Sephi.
She said,
I liked her then. I was like, nice.
Everyone liked her then.
I was like, oh.
We hated her like 10 chapters later.
But then we get Iron Gold.
We're getting to that. We're getting to that. So then essentially, they all then go home. They all then go to Mars, which everyone's like,
but they're Obsidian Army.
Huh?
I said they go home to Mars with the Obsidian Army, which was huge and pivotal for them.
And like, there's a lot of fucking Obsidians. I didn't realize how many Obsidians there were.
Yeah.
There's I still like that's one thing that I have my qualms with about Red Rising is because everything is so colossal. I can't physically picture it. Like when they're like, my ship is 8 kilometers long. I was like, the fuck you need an 8 kilometer long ship for? And I get now that we're out in the world, like out in the solar system, the scheme is big.
But even the size of the people is.
But even tell me about it. Put everything in kilometers. Like the fuck, you are a U.S. author.
That I was
apparently
fine.
The universe
that
is also in the metric system.
Aren't you guys like the only country who like drive on the wrong side of the road and have this weird metric system?
We aren't the only ones.
No, like you're the only one that drives on the other side. Everyone drives. Most people drive on the right side. Most people do.
No, they don't. Europe doesn't. England doesn't.
Actually, Mexico does.
Only the UK does. It's only the UK.
Really?
Yeah.
I feel like I've been anywhere fucking else in the world. I haven't.
We've been to several countries in Europe and we've seen this firsthand.
And we've never had to drive. It's only UK.
That's so
yeah,
weird.
it's true.
Oh well.
It's
anyway. All wrong.
It's like
they did send your ancestors, so they did like throw your ancestors to Australia, so that might be
look
part of the reason.
Colonization was a bitch for us.
They literally threw you as far away as they could.
No, but one of the side notes, I think, as far as what you were comparing to size and magnitude of everything, I think one of the things that drove me nuts was when I first started reading this book, especially getting towards the end, is you realize the size of not just the ships, the worlds, the galaxy, everything like that. It's the people themselves and like the dramatic difference in sizes of these people. I'm like,
it was hard to picture at first.
Yeah.
I'm 6'7" and I'm a small gold.
I don't think I was able to grasp like the different sizing until we got Sons of Ares, and they had that like infographic. I was like, that was what I needed. But yeah, there's so many details, and the world is so big. There's so many planets, and there's each planet has. I agree.
But like you said,
like,
ships are just colossal, and it's just like how. I mean,
yeah, like the bit I just read is like when they're going through when they just launched into Roke's ship at the end in their claw drill, and Dara's like 300 meters into the ship. I stop. I was like, you've been traveling for 300 meters inside the ship.
I think the size is like it's hard to grasp.
When they're being chased by like Cassius and Arjun, they're like, oh, they're 200 kilometers away. I'm like, oh, that's how can you see them? And B, like, cool, like, okay, now they're 40 kilometers away. I was like, Motherfucker, what?
How did you get that much ground in that short of a time period?
What do you think? How do you think a plane works in Earth?
What?
Just like
Like that?
You can't cover 150 kilometers in a matter of 3 seconds.
It just went boop, boop, and I was like, hello?
Time travel aspect of this shit.
I think this is when we have to suspend our reality too a lot of times when we're reading this kind of stuff because like we can't fathom like some of the stuff where I was just like, wait, what? Like
I know.
So
it's kind of one of those things where the specific numbers weren't really necessary. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you could have just said like
I appreciate how in detailed he was, but like some of the stuff kind of went over my head, to be honest.
Oh,
like I had to read it a few times to be like, oh, okay.
My biggest problem with
remember
is I'm just like, I don't know. Can you shut up?
He's mad too. He doesn't know either.
He's got no fucking clue. He's like, where's the food, bitch? You don't get seed because it'll kill you. What else? That's what else.
They like to backtalk a lot.
You don't understand. This is me. I usually have my study upstairs where I go and film all my stuff because of this. It's tactics. He's just talking. He's just talking.
If you need to borrow backtalk to just show how much love and squeeze them, then you can borrow. You did it.
I hope all your favorite characters die horribly.
Too bad we're all reading the same series.
Yeah, I know. It's my favorite characters too. So
it wasn't on purpose. You guys are awful. I didn't mean to.
Fucking monster. You're a murderer at well, I'm just gonna give them a strawberry. Just keep going.
Strawberries.
So we went after. Where are we at in the story? We just kind of
Ragnar died. Focused on that. I know.
No, so we're back at Mars after Seppi killed her mom, and they took the army back to Mars.
Okay. Oh, don't we have like the whole situation with Cassius in the ship where like?
Oh, is that where he has the where Seppi
Several like throw himself dramatically off of like, the balcony?
And Cassius and Severo.
Well, that's another big thing right here.
Well, no, they
Uncle Nero.
No. So wait, Cassius is a prisoner, and they found out Jackal has nuclear warheads.
And then they go to the Moon Lords.
Did he kill Dancer? Or like they were all
no one's dead yet. No one's dead yet. Just wait. Where's the Moon Lords? We meet Romulus. We meet Seraphina.
Oh yes.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about her.
And then we see Roke for the first time in this book.
Okay, fuck him hard.
I remember him.
I'm a fan.
Yeah, we meet Romulus. This is when they go to Jupiter Moon. And we meet Romulus. He asks for like help with the Sovereign. Darrow also needs help.
I forget that they have bigger eyes than us, than like people. They've got like bigger eyes and something else, I think.
Yeah, and this is where we find out.
And
this is also where we find out the Sovereign was moving those nuclear warheads against the Moon Lords. Yeah.
Oh, they're gonna have another Ash Lord situation.
And then we have the Battle of the Ilium, right?
Yeah.
The big like space battle between Darrow and Roke.
Yeah. And then Roke we get by Felicia, and then Roke dies.
Well, Roke took the easy way out. Okay, I'm sorry, but Roke deserves more than that.
But that's the only way I saw Roke ever dying.
He's too prideful.
Agreed. Dramatic. He was always going to take his own life some way.
Agreed. Agreed.
Roke's death was about
the little bitch, but
to Cersei's death in Game of Thrones. It was very pathetic and shouldn't have happened that way.
But Roke was pathetic, so it made
Sarah was never going to kill him.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think he would have kept him as a prisoner.
But Severo might have.
But it wouldn't have had as much meaning, though.
Isn't this also where we meet Antonia? Or not? It's not where we meet Antonia, but it's where Victor chases her down,
kicks her ass, and takes her ship
back. Yeah.
And so they go follow her, and that's when obviously Antonia then kills Thistle, and Victor.
Thistle.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And then Victor just fucking ruins Antonia, and I was like, cathartic. My girl needed that. Oh, and when she looked back to Severo and was like, told you I'm poison.
Wasn't it right after
break up with him?
Victor does like a big
she breaks up with Severo right after that.
Yeah.
She says, I'm not good for you or some bullshit.
That's what I was just saying. It's like a profession of love, but like in a way of like, I love you, but I love you so much that I'm gonna let you go.
I don't want to hurt you. Yeah. Well, because Victor spends the whole time believing that she's poison.
Yeah.
like trying.
She's got a complex.
I'm tough, but I don't want to be tough, but I am tough, but that's how it was made. But I also, I fucking love you.
I kind of really didn't like this because I was like, this is, to me, it felt like a man writing a tough girl. And I really hated that. But I love Victor, so I excused it. I'm sorry, but that's what it felt like when I read it.
No, I agree. I agree. Like having read that back, it was very like, I love you, but I can't be with you because it's like every fucking YA book ever.
I know.
That writing it.
Like, I think I'm out of this conversation.
I did appreciate though that it was her, not several. That was like not about the relationship. Like
I'll allow it because
the roles were reversed. Usually it's the guy like
where Severa's like, I want something that I can call mine. I want like family, kids, and Dara's like kids. He's like, fuck, I don't know. Of course, Severa
wants children, 100%. Yeah. He was like only child. Like I think. It was always kind of like a dream of him
and like
to have like
family and loyalty is his like big motivation factor. Like that's Severa straight up.
As we see at the end of Iron Gold,
Shut up! We're not up to Iron Gold yet.
We're not there yet. Come on.
Wait, pause 1 sec. Is this the book where like we find out Severa has the unicorn obsession, or was that in Golden Sun? Okay.
Unicorn porn. Unicorn,
which is weird.
And Victor's totally okay with it.
She is.
She probably loved it. She probably dressed like a unicorn.
Victor is a freak.
She probably dressed like it.
100%. So she was.
You hear them in Iron Gold. Mustang's like, I can hear them. I can hear them all night going.
I wouldn't expect anything less from them, to be honest.
100%. And the best part is Victor's probably the real kinky one, and Severa's like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, I'll do that.
He's all talk. He's all bark and no bite, and Victor definitely called him out on it.
Victor's got that big top energy, for sure.
Victor's the kinky one. Victor was the one that went after Darrow, and Victor was like, you won
I can totally see, like, Victor being Christian Grey from 50 Shades of Grey, and Severa being...
Yeah.
I can totally...
I wasn't ready.
Yeah, Mike read those books, by the way. I love it.
I don't judge.
It's fine.
It was a really good, trashy read. I read it.
It was an experience.
It was, definitely.
You know what? Thank you, Piera. It was an experience.
It was, one that I wish I never had. Now I know a lot more things. So,
all of them wrong, by the way.
Everything that I shouldn't know. That I shouldn't have known at 16 when I read it.
Oh, God.
Holy shit.
Wow.
I probably wasn't 16. I was probably like 17 or 18.
You were probably 16 to lie.
I think I was 26, 27 when I read those.
Yeah, okay.
And you were still like, oh God.
Well, I looked at those books for a different reason, like the psychological aspect.
Oh, sure.
Sure. Yeah.
Sure. I read.
We'll get into that. This is going to get a different level that we don't need to.
Right back to Morningstar.
So then we have
that's
throwing
when
they go back to Mars to face the Jackal.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Darrow spends time with Cassius as he's a prisoner.
They bro out.
Right?
Yep. That's what I got.
The bro moment
from the Jackal, showing him like killing Darrow. Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then that's when the Locals and Seppi riot and try to kill Cassius, and then Severo does the whole, "What do we do to murderers?" Well, I'm a murderer.
Throws himself off
the balcony. That's as far as I got up to my read, so you guys are going to have to take point on.
And then it's Seppi. That's when Seppi comes in.
Seppi was for real about to let him die. She was 2 seconds away from letting his ass die. She was like,
Yep, so she gets a bunch of golds. They execute them. And just as she's about to kill Cassius, Severo saves them.
Yep.
Gives a speech to end this whole riot. And then Victor proposes. Like the badass she is.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. I'm just like flicking through now. Yep. And then they get married, and she takes the name. Oh, House Barker sends their regards.
So
dun dun dun.
And then they have a beautiful wedding.
Yeah. Although, okay, so I get.
Didn't Darrow walks Victor down the aisle? He gives her away.
Yeah, he does. That was really emotional. That was really sweet. I really like that. That was really cute.
Then
he was like her first family, really and truly.
Yeah.
He was like the first, like, I guess, brother she wanted to like bone at first, but brother nonetheless.
That's gross, but yeah, technically.
I mean, that's what happened.
And so then where are we up to?
Then we have where Cassius betrays him or whatever. Like pretty much after that. Like
this is
the next big thing, right?
No, he has a conversation with the Jackal. on the night of the wedding.
Oh yeah, they do. And then we learned that like they thought they were going to Mars, but instead they were going to Luna to see the Sovereign.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And so they assume that like everyone tricked them. And then when they near Luna, like Mustang and Devereaux and Severo attempt to free Cassius, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then
we have
that thing where Cassius is betraying Darrow.
That scene almost made me stop reading.
I remember searching for spoilers before Morningstar came out, like on Tumblr or something, because I didn't have an early copy of it then. And I was like, does Severo live? And they're like, yes. So when that happened, I wasn't.
Oh, you.
I love spoilers. Did I not just tell you the same thing for Dark Age? Because I'm not going to get an early copy and you guys are. So I'm like, tell me.
I will.
Well, I need to know.
Bro, I'm still willing to. Wait, you guys are going to Comic-Con, so you guys are getting it like a week early, right?
Yeah, and Random House told us that they're sending out an arc. So, like,
get in line. Get in line. The first one's mine, you motherfucker.
No, I tweeted. If you guys didn't see, I was like, "Whose dick do I have to suck to get an early copy?"
So at Comic-Con, they'll let us get one a day. Is like what it is. We have to wristband each day out of the 5 days. So technically, we each could get one for the 5 days. Yeah.
You definitely don't need 5 copies.
But do we? But do we really?
You do need 5 copies. Not of the same one. You could get the fancy ones.
Yeah, so we have an arc, we're getting the fake crate, and we're going to the signings. Like, I don't fucking need all of the Comic-Con books.
If you want to give me one, I will reject.
If you pick me one up, I will send express shipping. I will send you shooting signed scripts. I will send you the blood of my enemy. You can have whatever you want.
Liz, what are you offering? I'm just kidding.
All right, so
the blood of my firstborn.
A debate like Darrow and Roke. Plead your case.
No, okay.
Do it right now.
Anyway.
I will skin your firstborn alive if you do not do it.
I will give you my firstborn.
Sorry, Liz, she wins.
I mean, Liz did offer to suck a dick, so I mean,
I did.
I can't offer those sorts of. I'm not gonna. I'll leave that to you, honey. That's not a good time for you.
Back to the side.
What?
Becca, how you doing?
Anyway,
no more
then
okay.
Okay, yeah, I'm getting to it.
Okay, so this part of the book where like that happened, I was like, there's no way. I remember when you read it, he literally threw the book. He texted me. Severo was his favorite character. He's like, why the fuck would you let me read this book?
That's
and I was like,
I was at work too. I was at work,
yeah.
And I threw the book across my office, and I was pissed. I was done. I'm not going to finish the book.
Yeah.
I texted her, and I'm like, why did you do that?
He stopped reading. I was like, please keep reading. It took me like a week for me to convince him to keep reading. He was so pissed.
Oh, I took some time.
Yeah.
I kept reading. I was like, no. I was like, no. I was like,
yeah.
It was too traumatic for me. I couldn't do it.
I didn't believe it. I didn't look at spoilers like Piera did, but like I didn't believe it. I was on the same page. I almost did because I was like, there's no way. I don't believe it at all. And little did you know.
Surprise. I believe Wakey Goblin.
That was one of my favorite scenes.
It's one of the best scenes in the whole trilogy.
Other than Cassius versus Darrow at the gala, that was probably my favorite scene.
Yeah.
And then we have, all of them teaming up to take on.
Well, remember they cut off Darrow's hand as well.
Yeah, they did.
They cut off Darrow's hand.
He kind of offered it up, though. I mean, it was more or less.
Yeah.
He was like, take it.
Yeah.
Here it is. Wakey Goblin. Fuck. Nice.
Exactly like that. Exactly word for word.
Oh my god. You're bleeding, Darrow. You're bleeding. I know. Where's your hand? You're missing a fucking hand. I know. I love that.
I love that his first concern is like for Darrow.
Yeah.
In the situation too.
I'm sorry,
like, bro.
The entire series, the banter between Severo and Darrow is by far like the best friendship ever.
Yeah, I got there.
Bromance.
In this book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm going to kill you, Aja. I'm going to kill you in your face. Big mood. And then what do we have? And then does Aja die first? No, the Sovereign dies first.
Sovereign does.
No. Aja? They both kind of die at the same time by the looks of it.
No, it's just Sovereign first because then they have to all team up to take on Aja.
Yeah.
It took 4 of them to take Aja on. Because she's that bitch.
Yeah.
She is literally that bitch. Like
Yeah.
she's so
The
like
HBIC.
really like
Handle it.
it took so many of them.
And then Aja cocks it. And then hold up, wait a second. Aja's dead.
Yeah, that's the thing is the whole build up to her actually fighting everybody, her death was really quick.
I don't know. She was still pretty badass. It took everybody to.
Yeah. I would
kill her.
Actually wound somebody or something first, but nope, she just like died.
Yeah. Well, look, she's had a lot of near escapes this whole series.
Yeah.
Literally.
She fell off a cliff on like the obsidian planet.
And there was no injuries. They couldn't find blood, they couldn't find anything.
Don't embellish her character, okay?
I would love
She was a
badass. Like one of the greatest warriors, but she died in literally a matter of a second and what?
She had 4
minutes.
people against her.
I know. I think that was okay with me. I was like, this bitch gotta die.
I was like, it took 4 of these motherfuckers to bring her down.
All right.
Then like
then the Jackal sets off some bombs, and then Darrow pulls out the tongue. Oh, here it is. And with a great pull, I rip out the tongue of the jackal. Not with your screams, not with your rage, but with your silence.
I love it.
Brilliant.
I think it was very, very beautifully done.
That part I threw my book in happiness. I literally had my arms raised like the guy at End of Breakfast Club, just.
and this was all like live footage, right? Like this, they had this
they broadcasted it to everybody.
So the entire solar system saw all this live footage, and that's when like Mustang declared herself, and the jackal got like right.
Yeah. Oh, you know what we forgot to mention about Darrow blowing up Ganymede?
Oh yeah.
We can just talk about it in Iron Gold because it's mostly to do with Iron Gold anyway. So
yeah, we can bring back.
Yeah,
it is a big moment. It is a big moment.
Gives Mustang the.
It's a big moment because he sacrifices the lives of
the sons.
All of those low colors.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We'll talk about that in Iron Gold because I think it has more to play with in Iron Gold than in this one.
It definitely
I
does.
agree.
It's like the catalyst for a lot of the stuff that's going on. I think.
All right, then we discover that Severo has shit his pants while he was dead.
Yes. Lovely moment.
I love that. I love that. It was very.
What did you expect?
It was on brand.
Yeah. And then she becomes the
sovereign.
What does she become again? The
sovereign.
The sovereign. I thought she had a different name now.
No, she becomes the sovereign, and Jackal gets hanged. That was like all.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Then he gets hanged.
And that's when they like start rebuilding the society, and then we like skip ahead to a couple weeks later on Earth.
Who is that? That is our son. His name is Pat.
Oh, okay. Okay, let me tell you what happened when I read this. I was literally like trying to finish this book. We were driving home somewhere, and I was like, no, I got to finish this fucking book. It got so good at the end. And I remember reading that exact part, and Mike turned to me, and I just had like one tear. It was one tear. I was like, it's so beautiful.
Now, mind you, I'm driving, and I just look at her just like kind of like upset, and then one tear, and I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you? I haven't read the book this time.
Yeah, I was like, and now you know.
I was so happy because I was like, I called it. I was like,
I shed a tear.
I didn't call it. But when I went back, every time I go back and I reread it and I see like the little, Mustang testing Darrow to make sure he can be a builder as well. And like all the little, like when she was telling Darrow how I'm on your side because I've got to protect the ones I love. And like the Telemanus was like, share a look. And when she's like arguing with Deanna before they leave, I was just like, oh my God, it's all there.
Yeah, he was very subtle about it.
I think it's because I think these are technically YA, aren't they?
No, it's adult.
It's adult. Yeah.
It's sold as adult.
It's in the adult section.
Yeah, I've got it. But I think I remember when I was reading it, I thought it was YA, and I've been reading a lot of YA, and it was the first YA that like had a pregnancy. And so I was like, oh, I didn't even think that was like a thing that we did in books these days.
Well, they didn't even have it. There was no pregnancy. It was just like, here's your child. Like,
surprise.
Yeah.
Like this baby is almost a year old.
So like, okay, I have to say, like, I thought it was like a beautiful. I did cry, but like afterward, I was like, that bitch didn't tell him till like a year later.
But like Mustang is a smart girl. She had her reason. Stand by her.
She named their child after Pax. Darrow didn't give a shit after that. It was like, oh. Okay.
I love the name, but like, come on. He was the father. Like, he deserves to know. You waited so long. You tested him. Like, that's so shit.
And you, like, Mustang literally says when she's talking to the Moon Lord, she's like, I don't get my, like, love and fucking knowledge smushed. Like, my emotions don't affect.
She can definitely separate the two.
Yeah.
That was really nice. Part of me still was a little bit like,
everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Part of me was, I liked the fact that they ended it in like this happy ending with the kid, but like part of me was also like,
well,
really?
we can't talk too much about PAX though until next.
Yeah.
I did like that, like the way it ended was with the new generation. So like, here's the new generation. I thought that was really
and it was
good
just
way to
enough to be like, okay, there's hope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he announces there's another trilogy, and you're just like, fuck.
You're like, damn it, no more.
Back. Yeah. I don't think most of us clued on to Serafina our Ra being.
Oh, not at all.
There in the new book. I was like, I feel like I know this name. I feel like I know her. And then when I reread Morning Star, I was like, ah, shit.
Well, because she's only in there in a glimpse of it. She's
she's a child too.
Same with Ephraim. Ephraim gets mentioned in Morning Star, and I honestly like had no idea. And then when I remember reading Iron Gold, we'll get there. I was like, oh shit, Trig. Like, oh,
I felt in Golden Sun. I just mentioned that in the Golden Sun live show, I was like, maybe that the little girl who came down to Darrow with his mum could have been Rona. I don't think it is.
I think that also, but I don't. I'm not.
Rona would have been there though, because I mean, she would have been a child at the time anyway.
Well, it was a child, so like it would make sense.
And stuff like that.
But we're jumping ahead now.
I don't know, because you know how he said he dropped a lot of hints in Golden Sun and stuff for like this new book. I'm just like wondering how much we're gonna look back on and we're gonna be like, aha, well yeah, like he dropped the like a little bit of the rim, I think, for because it's gonna focus a lot in this new book,
but that's
as
what
we saw.
Qualities though is that he drops those subtle hints that you don't even think about.
Okay, are they subtle hints or are they?
I don't think he realizes they're subtle hints until he goes back and he's like, I'm going to use that to make me.
Exactly. That's what I was about to say. Like, they're not subtle hints. Okay, what can I incorporate back into this? True had Ephraim. Perfect. New character, right? Like, I think
he's been planning for years to be like, yes. I mentioned, that
doesn't make me feel good about the future then, because that means he's going to fuck with everybody
100%.
in the next.
Oh,
I feel like as a writer, a little bit of that does include itself though. Like you'll drop things and hope that maybe you'll be able to use them. And then if you don't, then they're just there. But
you've wrapped them up already.
Yeah, like or you'll like you never touch them again kind of situation.
So like
I can.
Go ahead.
I don't know. Just go.
No. So like working with a lot of writers on series and things like that, we talk to them about this, and I feel like that happens sometimes. But more oftentimes they go back and they're like, okay, what can I expand on? What could be a hint at something that wasn't?
You're ruining my life.
Ruin the magic. Let them know how it is, baby.
Sorry, it's more of them like going back and expanding than it is them having hints. But you're right. That does happen. They do have like blue sky plans for these characters, whether or not they happen or not, right? Like some authors do write out a whole plan for a character just so they can like get in that mood. But that's not every author, and more times than not, it's more of them going back.
Yeah.
If Dark Age goes the way I think it's gonna go, you're not gonna see me in this video.
Aww. Crying, you won't even be able to talk, and there's gonna be a lot of alcohol.
Hear him in the background going.
I'm just gonna be like a bottle of wine.
Video of Will Ferrell drinking the wine on the couch is just.
Realistically, we're probably all going to be like that.
Oh yeah.
It's just going to be like.
I have a feeling I know where you're going to go with Dark Age, and it breaks me right now.
This is what's going to happen. We're going to get a copy. We're going to read it and send it to both of you guys, and it's literally going to come with a bottle of wine.
Yeah, watch. We'll get it in the next couple of days, and then we're going to on the next one, the Iron Gold. You're just going to see us.
Yeah, 100%. And then once we all read it, when we open to this Google Hangout, we'll all just be like, dead. Just absolutely ruined. How do you?
Because it might be 2 years for the next book at this rate, at the rate that he's writing.
I don't think so. I really think like the Dark Ages one was like the one where you have to kind of figure out the next book in the middle book and tie in the first book. So I feel like the middle book's the one that's like.
I hope that he's almost done writing the third.
I feel like the third book's more of like just taking from the second book. I think the second book's really where you need to perfect it. I don't think
he started.
I also
started.
Don't say that, Liz. Don't say that, Liz.
He just finished writing it. Like he just
Liz,
copy it. It's like 2 months ago.
Liz, go take a time out right now.
I'm gonna go. I'm trying to break your heart early so it doesn't hurt in the long run. You can deal with it.
No.
This is like Saba. Saba, like, what is it? Hasn't even started writing like the 4th book in the series, and we're like sitting here like that's gonna be Daryl. I mean, it's gonna be
Pierce. Our friendship right now.
No.
Sorry.
In the next video, in our Iron Gold live show, we'll go through our like Dark Age theories and like what we think is gonna happen. Yeah,
I'm not emotionally prepared.
Things like, oh, like getting a on-screen POV because Darrow's gonna cock it, or other things like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I just want to talk about. I'm not gonna say it because that's a spoiler.
Okay.
Well, just kidding.
There is a lot of stuff to talk about in Iron Gold and where you think this is gonna go.
Yeah. Anyway, Morning Star was great.
Morning Star was amazing. Great. Thank you for
wonderful
tuning
ending.
I'm gonna go through the comments real quickly while we're here.
Okay.
Yeah. What's popping? Hey. Yeah, the beanie is amazing. I know.
We all know.
Trigger Holiday. Aja is Serena Williams. Yeah, something like that.
I thought it was
it's the girl from Black Panther.
No, the girl in Black Panther. That's who I put in there.
Yes. You know, The Walking Dead, she comes out in that too.
Yeah.
Oh, Michonne.
Yeah.
I agree. 100%.
That's what I see.
That's who we put. You'll see it in the comments.
I told him it was weird. Yes, it was weird.
It was weird.
Everyone, just pretty much saying that we're all fucked for
Dark Ages.
Crying over Ragnar. More Ragnar tears. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
So we can have a good cry sesh for Dark Age review.
Our Dark Age live show will just be crying.
I might vlog myself just crying reading Dark Age.
Oh, I'm definitely going to do like a reading vlog of like live by live as I go.
I'm just going to be catatonic, just sitting here staring at the ceiling.
Yeah, Mike's not even going to be able to speak.
Yeah.
I'm going to look for my video of me crying for the wreck, just so you can have it and we can have it together.
Nice. All right. Well, that's it for the Morning Star live show team. Thank you for joining in. We'll have our Iron Gold live show not this weekend, not next weekend, but the weekend after, the week before, or the few days before Dark Age comes out.
We'll let you know in 3 hours before.
3 hours beforehand, you'll know. You'll get it.
That's gonna be our new thing.
Okay, I forgot. I completely forgot.
It's okay. I just think it's so funny.
Guys, we'll see you guys next time. Bye.